seekers with work permits are getting access to more and more courses. Asylum seekers are not permitted to have a driver license. Now, there's 3 different strands at work trying to solve this problem, because obviously it's very, very difficult if you have a job and you're allowed to work, but you can't travel. So someone obviously can work as a delivery driver, may not be able to work in construction. A lot of asylum seekers living in rural Ireland probably can't get to work. So the first thing that's happening is the Department of Transport, Tourism and Sport are reviewing this. Now, that's been ongoing since 2019. There are also proceedings in the High Court with regards to this. Now, the law is on hold at the moment, with the exception of urgent or serious matters. And obviously this is an urgent and serious matter. So there's a High Court case sometime this year, or there's a judgment. There's actually a judgment due. The case was before Christmas. The judgment is due on that. There have also been successful cases at the Workplace Relations Commission, 2 cases in the Workplace Relations Commission, where people were actually granted a driving license, but then the state appealed those decisions. So those appeals are ongoing. One of those was a Pakistani national who lived in Ireland since 2015. And when he came to Ireland, he sought asylum. He was granted an employment permit, and he worked as a delivery man, but using a bike. So he wanted to, I suppose, increase his wages or get better work, or obviously sometimes it can be difficult, certainly in Ireland, work as a delivery man just on a bike alone, given the weather conditions in the wintertime. So he made a complaint to the Workplace Relations Commission that he wasn't given he applied for a learning permit to allow him to drive a car, and he was refused on the grounds that he couldn't produce a GNIB stamp or an EU passport to show he was normally resident in Ireland. So somebody, I suppose, coming in on holidays from America can drive. I think au pairs can actually get a driving license, but asylum seekers can drive if they've got an international license. That only works up for 1 year, but they can't get an Irish driver's license. So the WRC found that he suffered indirect discrimination because he was being asked to produce documentation that it was impossible for him to obtain. He just couldn't get that documentation. So the WRC orders that he should be granted a license and paid compensation, but the state has appealed that decision, and we're waiting to hear on that particular appeal. So driver licenses, they can't get driver's licenses at the moment, even though they can work. So that is, that's the end of the presentation, and I'll take some questions now from Fergus. And as I said, those of you that want further information on this presentation, it's going to be on the website, and absolutely feel free to email me or send me any questions, or if you want me to look at any of those issues in further detail, I'd be happy to do that in other webinars or even for your own ETBs. Okay, Fergus.